All right, everybody, welcome back to Dave's growing watch emporium. We just wrapped up the video for the Bulova Precisionist, which is, I was blown away by. For the price, it's the best value right now. If you want a nice, proper, casual and dress watch that has just an amazing movement and looks and accuracy, but you don't want to spend $3 or $5 or more $100. You want to spend two-ish. It's a little over two. I think with shipping was $230. I can't think of a better watch from what I've seen. Anyway, we're not talking about the Bulova. You want to talk about that? You go watch that video. Hit like, subscribe, make comments. Let me know what you think of this stuff. This is a new Citizen that I've acquired. I took my wife over to Jared the other day because I'm buying all these watches for myself. Now, granted, a lot of them are the cheaper watches, right? A lot of them are the Amazon watches. But I have bought a Tissot, now a Bulova, a couple G-Shocks. I had a couple nice watches. The Tissot's real nice. I added the Bulova to it. But my wife, I was like, what do you have for a watch? She had an older Citizen. She had a Victorinox Swiss Army watch that someone broke. One of her grandkids or something hit her with, goof around playing, but something slapped the glass and broke it. And I was like, you know what? You need a new good watch. And that was my strategy was, A, should be less likely to get on me for spending and buying a whole bunch of watches in such a short period of time. Although we don't really argue about money and stuff. And like I said, a lot of them are cheap anyway. But I was like, you know what? Let me spread the love. Let me hook her up with a watch. And I actually got her two watches because the one she found, I gave her a budget of like $300. Go pick out what you want. And we went over to Jared. We went to Jared. And the one she actually really liked, turns out, was on sale for like $159. And I was like, well, then pick out a second. We'll go get you the G-Shock. So you can have a nice watch, and then you can have your G-Shock for when you go camping and fishing and you're swimming and stuff, and you don't have to worry about those. So she's like, all right, cool. So I ordered that one yesterday, and I'll be here Monday. But she got her Citizen. And while I was there, I was like, I really like the Citizens, and I like their Eco-Drive. So here's what I've got. I got this one, got it sized. All that comes in here is the desiccant that says don't eat. You're not my supervisor. You can't tell me what to do. If I want to eat it, I'm going to eat it. But I got my extra links. Comes in a nice box. Kind of like the Bulova. It's like spring-loaded. And it's got this little thing here. I guess that's their pillow. It's foam, hard foam, close-cell foam. And I'll put the links and stuff up to this one as well. I'll just throw it on Amazon because I do have an affiliate link there. So this is one of their dive watches. And this one is a 200 meter. And I love dive styles, especially when they're in this mid-range. I mean, I've got a couple dive style watches. So I have got the big ass giant Invicta, which now all of a sudden this feels small like a toy. That's, just massive. And then I've got the smaller ones that are my Invicta, their versions of the Submariner. So I've got those. Jimmy's calling me, probably to see what I want to do this weekend. I'll call you back, Jimmy. I will have called you back by the time you see this video, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. But anyway, so I've got the slightly smaller ones. I got the Invictas, one with that style band rubber with the gold clasp, which is kind of nice. And then the one I actually wear more often is going to be this one right here. And so I was like, you know what? I want a diver chronograph because I've got divers. That's a diver chronograph, but honestly, I don't wear that one that much. And I've got chronograph. Now, I guess these are technically chronographs, and that's a chronograph. But I wanted the diver style. But I wanted one that was stainless steel. I wanted one that was nice and robust. I wanted one that had 200 meter depth. So if I do go swimming or swimming in the ocean or diving in the pool, I don't have to worry about it. And I wanted one that, like the G-Shocks, that are solar powered. So all of these other guys all run on batteries that I will have to change periodically every few years, right? And I like the quartz and batteries because it is easier to change a battery and then reset the watch than it is to go have an automatic movement serviced every 5 years or what have you. So I like the quartz. They are more accurate as well. The ones with the movements typically, or the automatic movements typically aren't as accurate. They could be within 5 seconds per day. Quartz tends to be within 5 to 10 seconds per month. This bad boy Bolova is within 5 to 10 seconds per year. It's an amazing movement in that thing. Go watch the other video on that. That's probably the best buy out of anything here. But I wanted one that was a nice classic style diver with the chronograph and with the date and solar powered. This is the Citizen Eco-Drive. I won't have to worry about that battery for probably 15 to 20 years if I keep it topped off. And it charges by any light. So just sitting here right now, no, that's not a bright light overhead, so it's probably not doing a whole lot. But just the fact that you're out and about, the only time I got to worry about this thing going dead is if I threw it in a dark drawer and closed the drawer for like half a year. That could drain the battery down. And then I'll have to take it out and sit it on the windowsill in front of the sun for a few hours to charge it back up. But in a normal state of using the watches or having the clear top and having it in a lit area, I really should never have to worry about this one or these two. These are all solar powered. These go into low power mode. So when it gets dark, that actually shuts off the display and it just runs the internal clock. And that's where these things last like 9 or 10 months with no light. So very cool. Wanted that watch and never have to worry about batteries, never have to crack it open, because when you get the 200-meter water, every time you open the case and close it and change batteries, you might not put the rubber gasket back and seal proper. There's always the chance that you might not preserve all that water resistance. So it's nice to have one that's built properly, assembled, and I never have to crack it open or pay a jeweler to crack it open to put a new battery in it. So really nice band. I had to take out, I think, 2 links on one side and 1 on the other to get it to fit right. And here's what's kind of cool about this one, is this one, the micro adjust. All right. When you look at a strap, a bracelet like this, everything's done by pins, right? So you get it as close as you can, and then you can adjust the pin a couple millimeters each way to really fine tune it. This one, you get it as close as you can, and you almost want to, if you can get it with the amount of links down to the right size, that's fine. But what you do is you err on the side of it being too tight. Now for me, it's perfect. It doesn't roll around, but it slides a little bit so it's not pinching my arm. But it doesn't slide all the way down past where it gets on your bone, on the joint there, where when you go to bend your wrist, it's like in the way. So I was able to get that perfect just by the number of links. But look at this. If you want, you can pull this down and you can adjust this. This thing has this micro adjustment. And now what they were telling me that this was for was not so much for micro adjusting, but you adjust it for your wrist. And then if you have a wetsuit on, because it's a diver, you can go pull that and extend that out 3/4 of an inch. So most wetsuits, that would then fit. If I were to put that back on, you'll see that that is going to be now way too loose. But I've got enough room there now that I could be wearing a wetsuit and that would then fit without having to change the links. I don't have a wetsuit, so that'll probably never come in handy for me. But it does give you that ability to wear, I don't know, if you gained weight over time and you don't want to go to trouble going back to the jeweler and having them put back links, and let's just say, or you're retaining water for some reason, you had too much sushi and sodium or something the day before. If it was a little tight on my wrist that particular day, I can go click. I don't have to get out the tool and push the pins and we're scratching anything. I can now just go and I can add that little click that you'd normally get by having to move pins. So whether I'm doing it, the whole way for wetsuit is really kind of irrelevant. It's never going to be for the wetsuit. But if it was feeling particularly tight that day because I was retaining a bunch of water because maybe I had too much salt intake, or over time put on a couple pounds, I had to put on a decent amount of weight to get my wrists fat, but whatever. I can go click and I can give it that one extra click to loosen it up just a little bit. Not that much, just that little bit. And then as soon as my wrist goes back to normal, boom, right back in business. No tools. That is freaking cool. That is really cool. It also clicks. Nice solid detent. Audible. And you can really feel it. And what's nice about this is if you don't have to worry about accidentally bumping and starting your chronograph and wearing your battery down, there's these little crowns that you loosen first. So if you're in a situation where most of the time you're not using the chronograph, You just leave them in and the buttons then are inert. If you want to then use it, now the stopwatch is going. Or wait, is it the stopwatch? Yeah, stop. Yeah, okay. So your second hand is your stopwatch, and you'll have your seconds are going down here, and then you've got, I guess, minutes and then hours or something like that. It's not like, oh, it's a chronograph, they're all the same. No, every dial complications are slightly different. Then you got your reset. It goes around. Everything's reset. So most of the time you're not using the chronograph. It's there in case you need to stopwatch something. And yeah, you have to unscrew them to use them, whereas other ones you don't. But I found other ones sometimes I'll go, oh, wow, the stopwatch is running. And that's because I accidentally did something and pushed one of the buttons without realizing it. And it doesn't hurt it. It's just wearing your battery down that much faster to do the watch and the stopwatch at the same time. So there is that extra movement of, oh, here, let me just basically unlock it so I can do that. But it does protect you from that. And honestly, if I'm looking at my digital, analog digital, and then my digital Casio, I've got to hit the mode button to get the stopwatch anyway. So, it doesn't really matter to me. It's not a big deal. But that is going in the case. I got one space left here, and I don't know which one. I don't know if I'll get another one or just leave one blank. Part of me says, oh, just get another watch. But I'm like, I don't need another watch. Like, I've got plenty. And again, my wife doesn't give me shit about it. She thinks it's weird that I was not into watches at all. She goes on vacation for a week and comes home, and all of a sudden I've got a watch collection. I'm like, yeah. It's like I got out of the whole smartwatch and all that stuff. And I guess I don't have jewelry. And as a man, I don't really wear jewelry. I don't have any necklaces, don't have any bracelets, any of that stuff. But it is, I guess this is as close as I'll ever get. But it's nice having some quality timepieces. I said these ones up here, if you add them all up, what you see there, you're only talking $250. It's not much. It's less than my cable and internet bill for 6 nice looking watches that I could wear and be like, oh, that's cool. Down here, what are we talking? So 400, 215, let's just say 400, 200, let's say 600. I got that one on sale, but they're really more like 425. We'll just say 400. So I got 1,000, 1,030, 1,100, 1,130, and then 200. All right, we're around $1,300 for 5 watches. If you add up these up here, all right, let's just say we're somewhere in the vicinity of $1,500, $1,600 for 10 watches. That's a lot of watches for $1,600. And some of them are actually really nice. I got beater watches that look nice, but I'm not going to cry if I break a $55 watch or a 30-something or a $55, or that one's $36 or whatever. They look nice. If they last me a few years, great. I got my money. I got my $34 or $36 worth. As far as my nice watches, we're really only around, $1,300, but that's for 2 Casio G-Shocks, which are indestructible, high-quality watches, solar-powered, all the stuff you want. Time set by radio signal and all that crap. I got a really nice Tissot. I got my new Bulova, which is awesome, and a really nice Citizen. So, those are nice watches. Casual, rugged, outdoor, don't care if I get them banged up or in the mud or, whatever. If I go hunting, perfect watch to carry. If I'm in the office or something like that, or dress up nice, going out to dinner, I've got some nice dressy style watches. Right here with the Tissot and the Bulova. If I want something nice, but I may get out in the rain or I'm going to go swimming, but whatever. I'm on vacation and I'm in Vegas. I'm at the pool. I want to keep a watch on me, but I'd like it to be a nicer one than the Casio. I've got that. It's very cool. For not a lot of money here. If I get another one, I don't know what I would get. The Tissot T-Race MotoGP looks nice. There's a couple Tag Heuers, but I'm not going to spend that kind of money at this exact moment. But that to me that's a nice little collection. Nice range of stuff, inexpensive. Some not for watch aficionados. None of these are expensive. These are all entry-level, decent watches. Entry-level, mid-range watches. None of these are luxury watches. They're just nice timepieces. And like I said at the end of the other video, you go buy a cell phone for $1,000 or $1,200. You're going to use it for 2 years and then throw it out and buy a new one. Is spending $400 on a quality watch that'll last you 20 years or 30 years if you take care of it and maybe hand down to somebody, is that really that much money? You spend $350 for a stupid Apple Watch, and you're going to use that for 2-3 years tops until the battery goes dead and can't be replaced, or they stop supporting it. And when you buy the new $1,200 iPhone, you got to get the new watch. So why keep spending money on disposable watches when you can have decent quality timepieces that will last decades? When you look at it that way, suddenly it's not so frivolous spending money on decent watches. So anyway, that's how I rationalize this in my own head. So, we'll see. But that's the new Citizen. Again, did I show you the model number? If not, I'll put all the specs. Yeah, it's not on the box. I'll put the specs and everything. I'll put the link to an Amazon, to my affiliate page. I'll put all that stuff in the description. But very nice pieces. If you're interested in any of these other watches, I've got videos of unboxing and going over all of them. If you want to buy cheap but looks good on a budget, but is actually a decent watch and will last you many years, check out these guys, the Invictus. These are $55 right now, the Pro Divers. You want rugged G-Shock, you can't go wrong. And there's the dogs going crazy, my wife yelling at them. And then if you want to spend a little more money, we got a video on a Tissot, a Bulova, and a Citizen. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we'll talk to y'all later.